let's get right to it. What we're doing today is we're going to take this logo that I've already created. It is a pit bull head. This is a client of mine, and the client wants this logo to look like a stamp, and not only to be on a stamp, but to have a grunge texture. So I'm going to show you how to turn a logo into a stamp, and also how to export that logo from Illustrator as a pure vector file, import it into Photoshop, and give it some texture. First things first, I already copied this logo over here, and we're going to use it on this new artboard, which is where we're going to create our stamp. I'm going to start with the ellipse tool and create a circle. This is going to be the circular stamp that we are going to work with here. We'll make this gray for now. Center that on my artboard. Zigzag. Let me see if I just do zigzag. Let me try something. Yeah, that's what I want. I don't want a regular circle. Yeah, I want my stamp to have a little bit of shape around the edges. I want it to still be a circle, but to just have a little bit of edge. Yeah, something like that. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to expand this, because when you add an effect in Illustrator, it's not gonna recognize it as a expanded shape. So I'm gonna expand the appearance. That way it's actually creating these points on this new shape that I created through that effect. All right, now I'm going to move my not my bulldog, this is a pit bull. I'm gonna put that on top of the circle in the layer so that when I drag it over, it'll be on top of my stamp. Next thing I'm going to do is scale it down. I'm gonna hold down Shift and Alt, and I'm going to scale my pit bull down into the middle of this stamp. And I think I want this to be maybe like that big. Let's center that horizontally and vertically. Oh wait, I think I hit the wrong one. There we go. Since we're turning this into a stamp, I want this entire logo to cut through the stamp. To get this to cut through, I'm going to select the logo and then select the stamp. I'm going to go over to my Pathfinder, and we're going to go to minus front. And then when I do that, now we have the logo that was there is now not able to be selected. So basically I took that entire shape and I sliced it through my stamp. Something basic that I want to do here. Oh, actually, before I do that, it's always good to copy what you're cutting into. So let me go back and do that. I'm gonna copy my stamp and I'm gonna lock one of the layers. I'm gonna lock the copied stamp, and I'm gonna show you why I'm gonna do that. Now, the reason why I saved a copy of my other shape is because I'm going to turn this into a trim. I'm gonna make the trim, it really doesn't matter because I'm gonna slice it anyway, but I'll make it white so you can see, so I can see exactly how it looks. All right, I'm gonna do this. And I need this to be on top of my shape. Thank you. I hit this arrow, this swap fill, and you swap your fill into the stroke area. So now I just turned my filled shape into a stroke. And now I can manipulate this shape as a stroke. Actually, before I do this, I'm going to Control C and then Control F, which pastes your, whatever you have selected in whatever you paste, it pastes it exactly in the same position. Because I just came up with another idea of what I want to do. So I'm going to make that a fill again, and I'm going to lock that and just make it invisible until I'm ready to use it. All right, back to the stroke. We're going to make the stroke a little bit thicker. So we're going to go up here, and until I feel good. I think I feel good about, let's see if we do a big stroke, how that's going to look. Oh, that looks nice. I like that. Yeah, I like the big stroke. Okay, so what I want to do with this stroke, I'm gonna select this stroke. I'm gonna go object, and I'm gonna go expand. And when you do that, it turns your path into a actual shape that is filled. And the reason why I want to do that is because I want to select that, and I want to select the stamp that's behind it. And I want to go back to my Pathfinder, and I want to hit minus front again. Oh, actually, hold up. Let me do a direct selection, and let me try again. There we go. Sometimes when you're an illustrator and you're trying to use some of these effects, if you use the normal selection tool, it's going to select more than just the shape that you're trying to utilize or combine. Or Illustrator is full of shape manipulation. So a lot of times you'll want to direct select and not just use the regular selection tool, because when you directly select, it's going to actually select the shape that you want to manipulate. Again, this is on the fly. I'm coming up with these ideas as I'm creating or as I'm recording. All right, so let's go back to this layer that I told you about. Okay, this is the this is the path that we turned into a actual filled shape to do our last step. But what I want to do with this, I want to move this on top. I want to hit Shift and Alt, and I want to bring this down. And I just had an idea to add a little bit more depth, a little more character to my stamp. And I want to put this on both sides of the bulldog. Yeah, and I think I like that position on this side. Now what I'm gonna do so that I get this shape exactly on the same spot over here, I'm going to, there's a few ways I could do it, but I'm gonna do it this way. So the distance between this point and the first point that it touches over here, right? It's gonna be the same thing on both sides. So sometimes this is how I judge distance in Illustrator. So I just made me a shape. If I make this shape touch this corner, then of course that means that's the same distance over here. So I'm gonna make a copy, Alt, hold down Alt, and drag. I wanna make sure it's the same exact level, boom. So now that I've correctly measured that distance, now we just gave it a little bit more character, and now I want to do the same thing with these. I want to chop this through that background. So we're going to use the direct select tool, select this, and select this, because this is what we're trying to cut through. Go to the Pathfinder, minus front, and boom. Now we've just chopped that into the thing. So right now we have a stamp. I'm happy with this. I'm not going to do anything else with this. I like it. This is a dope shape. A lot of times as a designer, sometimes you can do too much. You can overthink your design. You can try to add a little too much. If it looks good, don't force yourself to add more. This is the way I think, especially with logo design. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to export this stamp into Photoshop, and I'm going to add texture to it. So now we have found our work file that we exported from Illustrator, and now we have a editable document in Photoshop, and now we're going to add texture to this stamp. Now usually I have a technique. I'm going to try something new while I'm recording. So there's a blending effect that will basically turn everything dark, or it'll make it attach to everything dark. So I'm gonna see if I can do this the really quick way, and just put my texture on top of the stamp and then blend it so that it fits everything that's black. Because if this works, then we can be done. I could probably show you the other way that I was gonna do it too, just so you can have options. But I think this should work. All right, so we have placed the texture. Now if I hit, okay, darken is gonna make it fill everything in the back. Let me go to the lighter blending modes. Yeah, see, it's not doing what I thought it was gonna do. Yeah, so we're just gonna do what I figured I was gonna have to do. All right, no biggie, no biggie. So check this out. I actually just want to add a background just for my eye. I want to be able to see it. So we just added a layer and we just painted it white. I just want to have a white background while I'm doing this. I have this layer selected, which is the stamp layer, and I'm gonna select every part of this that's white. All right, so we have all of our white sections selected, big brush, and I'm just literally going to erase. Now it's creating a textured stamp. So there's still more work to be done to this logo, to this stamp, but I wanted to give you a basic idea of how to create a vector and how to export it from Illustrator and move it into Photoshop and add texture to whatever you created in Illustrator. So I hope this was helpful. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions or any suggestions of any tutorials you would like to see, let me know. My name is Brandon Ayota. Thank you for watching. I'll see y'all next time.